This is how to pick the best moves or techniques in wrestling to focus on. Very simple. Just look at the most common positions. So if you had 7,000 attempts from the free throw line as a basketball player, you would say, holy cow, that's a pretty common situation I find myself in. You might spend maybe 30% of your practice time, maybe even 90% from the free throw line at practice. You're going to live there. Well, in wrestling, think about this. There are many common positions. Some are very common to advanced wrestling. Some are very common to all matches. Some are more common to more beginner wrestling, right? So we broke everything down. Those of you who follow our online academy know we have the basics, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, because we think that you should learn long division before you learn algebra 2, and you should learn white belt karate techniques before you learn blue belt or black belt karate techniques. Wrestling, we don't do that. It's unorganized. So we've organized it, back in 1999. So those of you who've been following us, for the past 20 years, or at least the past few, are very familiar. So I'm just going to share a little secret, Basically, look at this. One common position, I stand up, you're behind me. If I break your hands, I get an escape. If I don't get an escape. I'm going to stand up as many times as I can, but let's say I get to my feet 4 times a match, times 50 matches, 200 times this year. That's a common position. How about a collar tie? Kids grab your neck with a collar tie. Very common in high school and kids wrestling. Somewhat common in college wrestling as well. So from a collar tie, we have 5 great ways to score from there. Elbow pass is one. One is you can do that from a forehead to forehead or ear to ear collar tie. Both are pretty common. Then from an ear to ear collar tie, we have also underhook throw by and collar jerk. From forehead to forehead collar tie, we have a slide by or a pass by. And like I said, a elbow pass works from both of those positions. So basically you have 5 techniques, or you could say 6, because a elbow pass works from ear to ear or forehead to forehead. So now you say, I know 5 techniques that I could master, and all of these will work against a college national champion. There's probably more options out there, but why learn things that won't work against the best in America? You don't want to waste your drill time. So you learn these 5. So why is the ear-to-ear collar tie so important? Well, think about this. Your opponents are gonna grab your neck 13, 15 times a match, sometimes with a collar tie. At least 7 to 8. All right. Let's just say 10 times a year average. Some 15-year-old or 9-year-old grabs your kid's neck with a collar tie. Well, 10 times a match times 50 matches is 500 times this year plus practice. If you wrestle year round once or twice a week, and you wrestle, 2 to 5 days a week during the season, depending on if you're a high school kid or a youth kid, let's just say 7,000 times this year, 38 times a practice. 7,000 times a year is not really an exaggeration. So if someone grabs your neck with a collar tie 7,000 times a year, doesn't it make sense to be the best in America? You're like, dude, I'm here all the time, right? This is probably at least one of the most common positions. We have them all mapped out, right? And if you wanted our system, you can get it at our online academy at purlerwrestling.com. If you wanted to get a pen and paper, write your own down, that's good too, right? But so you say 7,000 times this year, someone's going to grab my neck with a collar tie. I'm going to master this position. I have 5 things I can do, and boom, it's like magic. You're starting to score more points. And then you look at these other common positions, some of which maybe you never thought about, and you go, wow. So we like to say, what's the best, let's just say 2 to 3 ways to score from the most common positions in wrestling. We have usually 1 to 5 ways, depending upon if you're a beginner or a super advanced elite wrestler, right? We have wrestlers taking visits over the next few weeks to Princeton, Cornell. One of our athletes has been in touch quite a bit with Iowa State, University of Wisconsin, and so a lot of our super elite athletes, you know, we have 7 ways to score from a front headlock, or our regular academy kids or our phase 1 online academy students will have, you know, 3 ways to score from a front headlock. And our basics kids will have 2 ways to score from a front headlock. Our beginning academy kids have 2 ways. So there's sort of a hierarchy, right? Now I will tell you that the kids who have 7 ways to score, let's say from a front headlock, they also have the best 2 that the basics kids have, because those are the best, right? So when you look at your, you know, don't think you're going to be erasing techniques like, oh, I don't need that anymore because now I'm a more advanced wrestler. Well, because you shouldn't be showing your newer wrestlers anything that won't work, you know, at a national level in high school or college. So sure, we're just adding to the stack of techniques that they need to master, but we're never alleviating techniques that they already learned, because we don't learn things that don't work to begin with, right? And that's a big part of wrestling, is sometimes, you know, our kids know a lot of stuff, but half the stuff that they know isn't going to work. So I would definitely encourage you to look at the common positions and map out the best few ways to score from there. If you did have interest in our online academy, it's just $179 to get in, one-time fee, and it's $14 a month. We figured that was a much better way of doing it than just doing a one big flat fee, which could have made it unaffordable to some people. So anyway, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people are on our program right now, and you know, we've been doing this since 2005. But we took our DVD format and we put it on a streaming format, and it's pretty incredible. You can check it out. There's free samples at purlerwrestling.com. Go to Online Academy, check the free samples. If you decide to figure out your own system, that's good too. But there's some advice on at least a good starting point. Good luck.